Good evening, everybody. This is Electrical Essence, and I want to thank you for joining me. I really do appreciate it. So, tonight's topic is about human experiments. Okay, that's a lack of a better word, and that's really not like what it's supposed to sound like, but humans are interesting creatures. Yes, they are, and we are always getting experimented on some form of a way, whether it's through the medical industry, through the social media industry, the government, our parents, our children, our friends, ourselves. You know, we are always experimenting. That's what we do. We experiment. You know, that's part of life. Life is learning to experience the experiment. So, yes, welcome to the Matrix. And it is fully fucking locked and loaded, and none of us are getting out alive. So, I just got done sending a message to the Fiery Luna, and it dawned on me. It dawned on me when I sent the message, and I was like, oh shit, I guess I'm not the only one that does it. We all fucking do it. So I just had to definitely touch base on it. But with the human experiment, experimenting on humans. Now, I'll admit, I've been experimenting on humans for a very long time. Experimenting, and don't confuse experimenting with, like, feeding or or other fucking whatever else comes to your mind. Because, you know, you experiment on humans too as well. But my experimenting on humans is more for astrological research reasons, and also too for personal reasons, and also it's something that I've been doing for a very long time, and something that I've been conscious of for a very long time, and I actually got called out on it by a Leo. I'm pretty sure she has, Virgo moon. Now this Leo, you like it? Oh, sorry about that. I'm always tired, and I swear to God, I have narcolepsy sometimes. I have a very weird daily schedule, so I'm kind of dragging ass today, so of course I'll be tired. But anyway, so this Leo that called me out on my human experimentations. Oh, sorry, just giggling. Some of the shit that comes out of my mouth. And I crack myself up. I actually do find myself quite funny. That's why I can always entertain myself whenever I'm by myself, because, you know, I'm fucking hilarious. You know, I love spending time with me because, you know, I'm like my best company. And plus I laugh at my own jokes, you know, so it's always fun, you know, when somebody laughs at your jokes. And I'm just kidding. Actually not. So, the human experiment. So, I was working with somebody, I was coaching with somebody, and this is back, this was 2000 and, had it been about 2008, 2009, 2008, had it been around 2008, and I was life coaching with somebody, and, you know, there's different levels, there's different stages, you know, that I like to go through whenever I'm life coaching with somebody, and I love life coaching because it's way different than like counseling and therapy and all that, because when you life coach with somebody, you bond with that person, you get down on their level, you go into the world, you know, you allow them so much into your own world, because of course, you know, you're having to, you know, of course, have boundaries, and of course, you allow them to have their boundaries. And so with life coaching, you know, it's a type of bonding where you get on this level, you get on this level where you can meet eye to eye and understand it and have that trust and bond, because in life coaching, you know, when you have a life coach, you have to be able to trust them, and they have to be able to trust you. And as soon as that trust is broken, as soon as that bond is broken through any type of bullshit games or lies or deceit or just any type of backstabbery fucking bullshit, then it totally corrupts the whole sessions, all the sessions, the meetings, all that. When you're coaching with somebody or working with somebody, whether it be, I mean, from either end, you know, I mean, like, there's just levels that you just don't fucking cross. And there's also, too, the person that you're coaching with has to understand, too, that one of the biggest things about counseling and therapy and life coaching, yes, there is a manipulation that is involved, but That's not the type of manipulation to where, you're out to hurt or harm, or you're trying to deceive or anything like that. It's the type of manipulation of experimenting with like different energies and ideas and concepts and stuff like that. And it has a lot to do with like the eighth house, and because it's a house of manipulation, it's a house of alchemy, it's a house of, you take that energy, you manipulate it, and you produce it into something different, and then you manipulate it out. It's that's why it's the house of the occult, and and shit like that can be seen like through the eighth house. But so the person should know that, but of course there's levels of manipulation that there's boundaries again, you don't cross, things you just don't fucking do. That's just totally goes against the whole fucking being a human and the human code for me personally. So my best friend Leo, I have always had Leos in my life. I've got 2 Leos that they'll forever be my best friends, because they've earned that title. They've earned that right to be still considered, no matter what, my best friends. And I have, of course, my number one best friend, childhood. Oh God, so we got a best friend who, she's exalted above all the rest, and that is my Taurus, my triple Taurus. She's a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, Taurus rising, Sun and Mercury in the 12th house. She's my girl. That's my number one. That's number one above all number ones. So this Leo, she's like, "Is this another one of your experiments?" And I was like, and I don't think she used the word experiment. Project. She called her a project. This is one of your projects. And I was just like, and I had to give her this look, just like, and my whole Korean side was just like, oh, this dirty bitch, because like, when we do all the observing, sometimes we fail to recognize that we're also being observed, and I had been like, yes, it's one of my projects. And then her total attitude changed, because she thought like, how Leos can be, they got to stay number one. They refuse to be number 2 to anybody or to anything, so, and then once you realize, that she was, that the person I was working with was someone I was coaching and not somebody that I was, trying to shack up and run away with or whatever. They love Leos. That just brought a lot of other things to mind, like just made me realize, a lot certain things. And then over the years, I've always think back to that time to when I was asked that, when the Leo was like, asked if it was a project. So human experiments, like I've been conducting human experiments for a very long time. That's actually how I learned the zodiac. That's how I learned astrology. More so the zodiac, not so much astrology. Well, astrology too, but, because like with all the different projects and research and stuff that I do, and I'm always conducting some type of a research and always testing out theories and everything, and also too testing out things in charts, especially if it's something new or something that I haven't quite like grasped particularly how the concept was, boiled down into something that could be deemed as accurate. And so, anyway, my newest of human experiments. Oh God, it's okay. Yeah, just human experiments sounds good. I like it. It's just fucked up, but it is what it is. I've come to the conclusion for like just in my thoughts, and especially like when it comes to social paths and coming to emotions and feelings, and people that know how to not only block their energy from being read, but also can read out. And I do believe that there are different types of social paths, just like there's different types of narcissistic people. I do believe that the full-blown narcissistic people, I do believe that is a form of demon possession. I mean, God, I can't even say demon possession, because that's just like, that's not even a correct term, because, not all demons are necessarily bad, but people that are full-blown narcissists, that just totally get in relationships, annihilate another person, and totally get, enjoyment from it or have no feeling towards it, it's pretty fucking sick shit right there. That's like a lower realm than fucking hell, because I don't even think that the devil can even find himself to do something that fucking just horrible. But, so I do believe there's different levels of narcissists. I do different stages, and I also believe the same with, social paths. I believe that a lot of social paths are, some are smarter than others, and I think some are at different levels than others. And I think a lot of people who are social paths don't realize that they have sociopathic type tendencies, so I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just have to see, because I do know quite a few social paths, and it's be interesting. Another thing that I'm researching into is the Pluto conjunct Venus. Oh, you people that have Pluto conjunct Venus, oh, you dirty little bitches, you're so lucky. That's 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 pheromones on a whole another fucking level, let me tell you. I have a friend a very close friend of mine, I love her to death, my little Snacks. Call her Snacks. She's got a Pluto conjunct Venus, tightly conjunct, and I actually met a girl a couple weeks ago who has it also, but hers is in the 8th house, so it's like, wow, talk about fucking intensity. So, I've got another experiment that I'm doing. I'm not really, well, it's not an experiment, it's more research. I'm it's a light research that I'm doing I started it actually last summer, and now I have actual, physical things to look at. But it's between the birthing of Pisces and Aries, and how the Aries are Pisces, and looking at it from both the Western and the Eastern system. A lot of it has to do with the calculations too, with the 360 degrees and the 30 degrees in the zodiac sign and all of that, and just the different principles between the Eastern and the Western. And the best way to start it is from the beginning and the ending, right? Aries and Pisces. And plus they I have a Pisces midheaven and a Venus in Pisces, and I have a moon in the 1st house, so I have a very strong ties to Aries and Pisces energy, so, and the experiment actually is going out to different things, not only just correlating in with the different systems and the math, but also to my draw and my pull, and a lot of it I've been able to really get some really good information off of. But I'm going to be conducting a new one here once I can finish up some other ones, but I'm always forever a student, always first and foremost in this life. So I just had to share with you about human experiments, how we all experiment on each other in some form of a way, because, it's part of the human experience of experiencing life, and, and it's a good way to learn. It's a way to learn in a new way, and it's to learn to really expand the mind, especially if you can grasp different concepts and different realities and stuff like that. It's good to feed your brain. You feed your brain, you feed your soul, you feed your soul, you feed your heart. All right, you guys, this is Electrical Essence. You have a good night.